Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So you see here on the daily chart that Bitcoin is just following nicely the roadmap to higher prices. I have no reason to believe that we have topped at all. The wave count remains very consistent has remained very consistent over recent months. Yep, this pullback was a little deeper than ideal, but it still is holding the pattern, even though proportions are a little off. So maybe the microstructure will change. That, however, does not change the idea that we're still in a bullish market. So while Bitcoin, I think, is getting closer to a major price top, and I will observe this area very, very closely for signs of a price top. 130K, sort of that area has been my milestone target here since 2023. I'm not going to call a top until I actually see a 5-wave move down. Far too many people have already called for a major price top to have formed. Far too many people are trying to short this market, even though the trend is still up. And when you're dealing with a crypto bull market, and by the way, Bitcoin has been in a bull market since 2022, then you're just going to get rolled over by momentum sometimes when you're fighting this trend, right? So we don't want to do that. There are too many people who try to predict the market. What we try to do is we want to stay aligned with the market, okay? Just go with the trend as long as it's reasonable to do so. And, we're still printing higher highs, higher lows. The 130K level hasn't been reached yet. And upside extensions are, of course, possible. Even a move to 149K would not be unusual. I explained that in previous videos. That's actually a very common target internally based on the A wave here. That gives us a nice C wave target, the 100% extension. In fact, that C wave that started here in June would actually be a little bit short if we only reached, let's say, 127K or 136K. But in that area, I'm going to watch for increased selling pressure. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame for BTC. Not really much change since yesterday. So there are two wave counts I'm observing. The yellow one is currently preferred, in which obviously we have a wave 1, we have a wave 2, we have a wave 3. This is a wave 4, and we can get another high in wave 5. And then we'll take it from there. I mean, that could lead to another 1-2 setup, So I'm not going to call it top until we get a 5-wave move down and a break of support. At this point, obviously, ideally, we avoid a break below that 111,990 level, that August low, to keep the upside momentum intact, right? In the short term, though, it would be ideal if we could hold even this Fibonacci support zone, because a break below it would be a first warning that something more bearish is playing out. But against that support zone, against that 114K level down there, the focus remains so far on higher prices. There is the white count where we already have a wave 1 done, and this is a wave 2. So if we get a deep pullback and max out this support zone, it could be rather a wave 2. But I will decide that when we get to it. For now, I'm watching very, very closely the structure of the current bounce that we see, because what we've seen here so far is from the 11th of August high, a 3-wave pullback. That generally keeps the door open for higher, but based on proportions in this entire move, where also the wave 2 was a sharp correction, the wave 4 would ideally be more like an extended correction, maybe more even of a sideways correction, okay? So just be ready for that at least, which is why I said yesterday, I'm watching if this is indeed a B-wave bounce, because if it's a B-wave bounce and remains a 3-wave move and we get a 5-wave move down, then this could be our indication that we're extending this correction. And the move to the upside has so far been choppy and overlapping. It's a very messy move to the upside, which obviously keeps the door open for another dip open, Keeps the door open for another dip. Just be ready for it. We even have, in that yellow count, a potential B-wave top in place, and the move down is in 5 waves. So as long as this swing high stays intact from yesterday, we do actually have a 5-wave move down, and it could be a C-wave to the downside that's developing. Gotta say, though, that this micro 5-wave move down, while it's an early indication, it would only be a leading diagonal, so I cannot strongly lean towards that context, okay? I'm just watching if we get one more. I mean, this is not for shorting anyway. I mean, in my opinion, not, because we're still in the bullish market. So I'm overall still watching for higher prices, especially if we get one more high and break above yesterday's high, which seems likely at the moment. Then it gives us 5 waves up. That would still be within the context of the yellow scenario, but it means the wave 4 already bottomed, most likely. So that's what I'm watching for today. Do we get 5 waves up or not? And if we get 5 waves up, then the next pullback could, we can call that a 1-2 setup or so. Yeah, but I will deal with that when we actually see it and see the start of a pullback. But for now, it's just something to watch for. This is 5 waves down, but it's not impulsive. So I think there's a good likelihood that we get one more high, and then it looks more like 5 waves instead of a B wave. So we have to remain flexible in this case, but be aware that against this support zone, the focus is on higher prices. Resistance for now remains between 120,200 and 121,835. So far, there has been the first reaction to Fibonacci resistance. And if we get one more high, then it's the area around 120,695 to 121,405. That next area where the price could potentially get some difficulties. And yeah, I mean, overall, the situation hasn't really changed. I think we are moving between support and resistance. I don't have a problem with that, because as long as Bitcoin is doing that, it seems to benefit the altcoins. That's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. I also invite you to join us on X for additional updates. You'll find here on X additional chart updates. You'll find some commentary. You can engage with the community. You can ask questions. So check it out if you're interested. The link is in the description and in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area.